Legislative Resolution Number 1898 by Senator Gallivan, honoring Ricky Palermo upon the occasion of his designation as recipient of a Liberty Medal, the highest honor bestowed upon an individual by the New York State Senate. Whereas it is incumbent upon the people of the state of New York to recognize and acknowledge those within our midst who have made significant contributions to the quality of life therein. And whereas from time to time this legislative body takes note of certain extraordinary individuals it wishes to recognize for their valued contributions to the success and progress of society, and publicly acknowledge their endeavors which have enhanced the basic humanity among us all. And whereas this legislative body is justly proud to honor Ricky Palermo on the occasion of his designation as recipient of a Liberty Medal, the highest honor bestowed upon an individual by the New York State Senate. And whereas the New York State Senate Liberty Medal was established by resolution and is awarded to individuals who have merited special commendation for exceptional, heroic, humanitarian acts on behalf of their fellow New Yorkers. And whereas a native of Batavia, New York, Ricky Palermo was involved in an automobile accident in 1981, which injured his spinal cord and left him paralyzed from the chest down. And whereas, with the support of family and friends, Ricky Palermo started an annual golf tournament in an effort to raise awareness and funding for people with spinal cord injuries. And whereas for the past 17 years, Ricky Palermo's Spinal Injury Golf Tournament has donated significant funds in support of research and further care for those with this affliction. And whereas this year's 18th annual Palermo Golf Tournament and dinner will be held on Saturday, August 2nd, 2015. Other events taking place throughout the year include a lacrosse clinic as well as a soccer and basketball clinic. And whereas an avid sports fan, Ricky Palermo played soccer, basketball, and football at Byron Bergen High School. He was named Most Valuable Player in each of these sports and is a recipient of the school's Athlete of the Year Award. And whereas throughout the entire period of community service, a period of constructive involvement, Ricky Palermo has stood constant in dignity and good grace and humor. And whereas with him throughout have been his parents, Virginia and Pat, his brother and sister-in-law, Jim and Nancy, his sister and brother-in-law, Patty and Joe, and his three nieces, Jamie, Amy, and Annie, all of whom feel privileged to be part of his life and rejoice in his achievements. And whereas individuals and organizations devoted to improving the quality of life for others, enabling them to build lives of dignity and self-worth, are deserving of the highest praise and recognition. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pauses deliberations to honor Ricky Palermo upon the occasion of his designation as recipient of a Liberty Medal, the highest honor bestowed upon an individual by the New York State Senate. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed be transmitted to Ricky Palermo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to thank my colleagues for bestowing the Liberty Medal upon my lifelong friend, Ricky Palermo. You've heard some of his accomplishments, and it really is a testament to him and his family that following his injury in 1981, that he has dedicated himself over 30 years now to trying to do something about it and to help others. Through his efforts, he's raised over $1 million to benefit spinal cord research, in particular supporting the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis that was developed back in the mid-'80s when Mark Bonacani, a son of Miami Dolphins Hall of Famer Nick Bonacani, was injured and ultimately founded the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis to find a cure for paralysis. Not much was known in the 1980s about spinal cord injuries. There was almost no hope then. And Ricky continued with others to persevere. The doctors did their work, and now there is hope. Along with the FDA's recent approval, doctors at the Miami Project have now actually started doing human clinical trials for both those with acute spinal cord injuries and chronic injuries like Ricky has. Rick is now trying to make people aware of these clinical trials in an effort to help those individuals and families that suffer these injuries, and he becomes available to any member to help with the emergency rooms, the trauma doctors in your particular district, to help make families aware that this is something that can exist and benefit them. And in addition to that, He has worked with the YMCA and started a bike program to help those with spinal cord neurological injuries. And again, is available for anybody with a YMCA who has an interest in developing this program. He is an incredible person, coming from an incredible family. He's here today with his brother Jim, another lifelong friend, and a friend Sam from Batavia, his nurse Jackie, and he truly is an inspiration to many, many people who continue to stand with him to try to do something about spinal cord injuries. And because in part of his efforts and so many others, there actually is hope on the horizon. And I thank you for your efforts. I'm thrilled that you're here with us today, and I thank my colleagues again for recognizing Ricky with the Liberty Medal. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Gallivan. Rick, you and your family have been friends of mine, extended relatives. In all transparency, your sister is my sister-in-law. We all salute your perseverance. We all salute your grace in the face of enormous adversity all these years, Rick. And we thank you for setting such a great example for all of us. On behalf of the entire state Senate, we thank you for all you do and for turning a tragedy into a triumph. On behalf of the New York State Senate, we extend the gratitude of the entire Senate to you and your family.